Hello dear students, welcome back to the second PUC online classes. In this class, I will discuss the concept of electrification and the methods of electrification. Electrification, it means charged or electrified. Charged or electrified. You know the simple concept. Neutral body. Neutral body means the object has no charge, then it's said to be neutral. But if the object possesses an electric charge, it is said to be electrified or charged. That is called electrification. Electrification, it is the process of charging a body. The process of charging a body is called electrification, or the process of transferring the electrons from one body to another body is called electrification. Here, electrification means it is the process of charging a body or the process of transferring the electrons from one body to another body is called electrification. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? If the object has no charge or body has no charge, then it is said to be neutral. If the object possess or the body possess an electric charge, then it is said to be electrified. Matter, which is made up of atoms, is electrically neutral. The addition of electrons creates an electron surplus, or the body gets the negatively charged, or like the removal of electrons from a body, it makes the body is positively charged. The process of addition or the removal of electrons or the process of charging a body is called electrification. There are certain methods to charge the body here. Now we will discuss one by one. That is called the methods of electrification. The first one is charging by friction. The second one is charging by conduction, and the third one is charging by induction. Now we will see one by one. Here, charging by friction. First one is methods of charging dalli first bartakantaddu yavadu charging by friction. Friction means one body is rubbed against the surface of the another body, or one body is moves over the surface of another body which opposes the motion of the body. Friction and its types, advantages of friction, disadvantages of friction, laws of friction, all these concepts already all of you have studied in your first PUC laws of motion topic. Charging by friction means it is the process of charging in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against each other. The process of charging in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against each other, then it is called charging by friction. In this process, one body loses the electrons, another body gains the electrons. Now I consider one glass rod. Here it is a insulated body and another one is silk cloth. These are the two bodies. The process of charging in which two insulating bodies, the glass rod and silk cloth, these are the two insulating bodies. These two insulating bodies are rubbed against with each other. Rubbed against each other. ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ರಾಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಹೌದಾ, and the two bodies are rubbed with each other. One of them loses the electrons while others gains the electrons. The body that gains the electron gets negatively charged, and one body which loses the electrons, that is called positively charged. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ರಾಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾತ್. When a glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, the glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, there is a transfer of electrons from the glass rod to the silk cloth. There is a transfer of electrons from the glass rod to the silk cloth. Charging by friction means the process of charging in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against each other is called charging by friction. When the glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, there is a transfer of electrons from the glass rod to the silk cloth. Here, the glass rod, it loses the electrons. Then it is called positively charged body. Silk cloth, it gains the electrons. Then it is called negatively charged body. Now the glass becomes positively charged and the silk becomes negatively charged. Hence, in this method, the two bodies are charged oppositely to the same magnitude. Two bodies are charged oppositely to the same magnitude. This process is called charging by friction. This is called charging by friction. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಒನ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಟೆನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಯಾವುದಿಲ್ಲಿ? ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ the process of charging in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against each other is called charging by friction. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲು, the glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. After they are rubbed, glass rod it loses the electron, silk cloth gains the electron. The body which loses the electrons, that is called positively charged body. Body which gains the electrons, that is called a negatively charged body. This process is called charging by friction. In this method, two bodies are charged oppositely to the same magnitude. Glass rod kuda charge agirutta, silk cloth kuda charge agirutta, but when the two bodies are charged oppositely to the same magnitude, this process is called charging by friction. The process of charging a body in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against each other, that is called charging by friction. This is the first method. Positively charged body ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? A body which loses the electron. Negatively charged body means body which gains the electron, that is called a negatively charged body. This process is called charging by friction. Then we'll move to the next process, that is called charging by conduction. Charging by conduction. The word itself says conduction, conductor, the material which is allowed to flow the electric charge, then it is called conductor. Charging by conduction. Conduction process ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ, the process of charging in which a good conductor is touched with a charged body, then it is called charging by a conductor. The process of charging in which a good conductor is touched with a charged body is called charging by conductor. Now I consider this is a charged body. It is a charged body. The process of charging in which a good conductor, this is a good conductor. Now this good conductor is touched with a charged body. This is a charged body. Here, this is a charged body. When the charged body is, this is a charged body and this is a good conductor. Charging by conduction. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇದನ್ನ? It is the process of charging in which a good conductor is touched with a charged body. It is a good conductor. This good conductor is touched with the charged body, then it is called charging by a conduction. And the positively charged body, this is the positively charged body. Here the positively charged conductor, this is a positively charged conductor. Now this is called a good conductor A and this is positively charged conductor B. When a positively charged conductor B is brought in contact with a good conductor A, positively charged body, when an object is touched to a good conductor or when a positively charged body B is brought in contact with the A to be charged, then the A gets positive charge. When this body is placed in contact with the body A, placed in contact with the body A. Now the body A gets a positive charge. Now the charges are moves from body B to the body A. Now the charges are uniformly distributed throughout the conductor A. This process is called charging by conduction. Charging by conduction means it is the process of charging in which a good conductor placed in contact with a charged body is called charging by conduction. The process of charging in which a good conductor is touched with a charged body is called charging by conduction. Consider a good conductor A and a charged body B. When a charged body B is placed in contact with the charged body A, here the positive charge is easily flows through the conductor A. The material which is allowed to flow the electric charge easily, then it is called conductor, which conduct the electricity, which conduct the charge. Charges from charged object gets equally distributed on the uncharged object when it is touched with the body A. Here this is called charging by conduction. But here in this case the nature of the charge gained by the conductor is same as that of the charged body. Charged body ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಹೊಂದತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ದ ಟೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ಲಿ ಟು ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, ಎರಡೂದ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಒಂದೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಬಟ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ದ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ದ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ gained by the conductor is same as that of charging a body. This process is called charging by conduction. Charging by conduction means the process of charging in which a good conductor is touched with a charged body. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ನೀವು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ದ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ gained by the conductor is same as that of charging a body. This is the second method, charging by conduction. Now we will move to the next part, that is charging by induction, and this is very important for your examination. Actually ನಿಮ್ಮ NCERT syllabus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸು, that is charging by induction. Refer your NCERT textbook. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಗಳು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್, ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ charging in which a good conductor is placed near the charged body is called charging by induction. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ friction. Now we will see the step-by-step procedure how the good conductor is gets charged with using the charged body. Now I consider this is the body A and this is the body B. This is also body A and B. This is the body A and B, and this is the body A and B. Here these are the two uncharged good conductors. Here these are the two uncharged good conductors or metal spheres. Here when we bring two metal spheres A and B supported on an insulating stand in contact with each other, initially they are uncharged spheres. In the second process, see this figure, in the second process now I bring a positively charged near the sphere A. Now I bring the positively charged rod. When we bring the positively charged rod near this sphere A, the free electrons in the spheres are attracted towards the rod because unlike charges are attracted towards each other. But this body is placed near to the good conductor, not placed in contact. Remember this point. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಅನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇತ್ತು. In the second process, now the positively charged body is placed near the sphere A. Placed near the sphere A, the free electrons in the spheres are attracted towards the rod. Here, this leaves the axis of positive charges on the surface of the sphere B. ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆದವು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜು ಈ ರಾಡ್ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? And in the first case, bring a two metal spheres A and B. They are supported at the insulating stands. In the second case, bring a positively charged near the sphere A. The free electrons in the spheres are attracted towards the rod. Now, the excess positive charges are repelled away from this rod. Therefore, the left surface of the A, this is the left surface. The left surface of the A, it has excess of negative charges. It has excess of negative charges. And the right surface of the B, and the right surface of the B, it has the excess of the positive charges. Excess of the positive charges. In the third case, separate the two spheres through a small distance. Separate the two spheres through a small distance. But the glass rod or the charged body is still held near with the spheres. In the third case, separate the two spheres by a small distance while the charged body is still held near the sphere A. Now, the two spheres are found to be oppositely charged and attracted each other. Oppositely charged and attracted with each other. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಇನ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕೇಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕೇಸ್. ನಾ ಯು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾವಾಗಿದು? ವೆನ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಎ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ, ರೈಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಎಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ಸು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಬಿ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಆರ್ attracted with each other. Like charges are repel each other, unlike charges are attract each other. In the third process, fourth process, when you remove the rod, the charges on the spheres rearrange themselves. Now the charges on them get uniformly distributed throughout the surface. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ದೂರ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ the negative charge and the positive charge is equally distributed throughout these two spheres. This process is called charging by induction. In this method, the nature of the charge acquired by the charged conductor is opposite to that of the charging body. Opposite to that of the charging body. This process is called charging by induction. In this process, the two spheres will be equal and oppositely charged. This is called charging by induction. Remember this point. Charging by induction means the process of charging in which a good conductor is placed near the charged body is called charging by induction. In the first case, take two metal spheres A and B placed on an insulating stand. In the second case, the positively charged body placed near the sphere A. When the positively charged body is placed near the sphere A, here the negative charges on the sphere A are arranged on the left side of the sphere and the positive charges are repelled away from this charged body, they are arranged on the right side of the metal spheres. Right side of the metal spheres. In the third case, these two metal spheres are separated through a small distance, but the glass rod is held placed near the sphere. Here, the negative charges are arranged left side of the metal sphere A. The positive charges are arranged right side of the metal sphere B when this charged body is placed near to the sphere A. In the fourth case, when you remove this charged body, immediately the negative charge is equally distributed throughout the sphere A. The positive charge is equally distributed because of unlike charges of attraction. This is called the law of force of attraction. The law of force of attraction. This process is called charging by induction. This process is called charging by induction. The charging by induction with a charged body. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ uncharged ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಲೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಈ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಾರ್ಜು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಲೂಸ್ ಆಗದೇನೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. Electrification means the process of transferring the electrons from one body to another body, or the process of charging a body is called electrification. Charging by friction, charging by conduction, and charging by induction. Charging by friction means the process of charging a body in which two insulating bodies are rubbed against with each other. One body loses the electrons, another body gains the electrons. Body which loses the electrons, that is called positively charged body. Body which gains the electrons, that is called a negatively charged body. The second process is charging by conduction. Means it is a process of charging in which a good conductor is placed in touch with a charged body. ಒಂದು ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆ ಗುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಯಾವ ನೇಚರ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಆ ಬಾಡಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ in which a good conductor is placed near the charged body, not exactly placed in contact, placed near the charged body. In this process, the nature of the charge acquired by the charged conductor is opposite to that of the charging body. Opposite to that of the charging body. Or in this process, two spheres will each be equal and oppositely charged. This is called charging by induction without losing any charge from that rod or from that charged body. This process is called charging by induction. And now I will explain with one example for this charging by induction. This is the best example from your Ncert textbook. How can you change a metal sphere positively without touching it? How can you change a metal sphere positively without touching it? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇದೆ. Now I consider this is the metal sphere. This metal sphere is placed on an insulating stand. This is a metal sphere. This is a metal sphere. This metal sphere is placed on an insulating stand. ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ನ ನಾವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. Insulated metal stand. In the second process, this is the second process. Now I bring a rod is brought close to this sphere. The negatively charged rod is brought close to this sphere. Now the free electrons in the sphere are move away. Here these are called free electrons. When the negatively charged rod is placed near this sphere, When the negatively charged rod is placed near this sphere, now the free electrons in the sphere move away due to the repulsion and start filling up at the further end. The near end becomes positive charge. The near end becomes rod hatra ಯಾವುದು ನಿಯರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. The near end becomes positively charged due to the deficiency of electron. This process of charge distribution stops and the net force on the free electrons inside the metal is zero. Inside the metal is zero. And in the third case, now this metal sphere is connected to the ground by conducting wire. The metal sphere is connected to the ground by a wire. The excess electrons in this sphere, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ excess electrons, the excess electrons will flow to the ground while the positive charges are at the near end will remain held due to the attractive force of negative charges of this rod. When the metal sphere is connected with the ground, the excess electrons are flows to the ground. The process of the flowing of electron from the body to the ground, this is called earthing. That process is called earthing anta ಕರೀತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಗ್ರೌಂಡನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಅರ್ಥಿಂಗ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಅರ್ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? when a charged body is brought in contact with the earth, all the excess charge on the body disappears by causing a momentary current to pass the ground through the connecting conductor, or the process of removal of electrons from the body to the ground, or the flow of electrons from the body to the ground, that is called earthing. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸು ಗ್ರೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಉಳಿದು ನಮಗೀಗ? ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. Yeah, this is the fourth point. Only positive charges will do. Now, disconnect the sphere from this ground. When you disconnect the sphere from the ground, the positive charges is continuous to be held at the near end. When you disconnect from the ground, ಈ ವೈರ್ನ ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಉಳಿದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಳಿದು. Now, when you remove this charged body, or remove the electrified rod, the positive charge will spread uniformly over this sphere. The positive charge will uniformly distributed throughout the sphere. Now, how can you change a metal sphere positively without touching it? ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಅನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇದೆ. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಅನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥನ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ charging by induction. This process is called charging by induction. It is a very simple process. Consider a metal sphere. That metal sphere is placed on an insulated metal stand. In the second process, the negatively charged body is placed near with a metal sphere. When the negatively charged body is placed near with the metal sphere, the excess electrons, the free electrons, are moved away from the negatively charged body because due to repulsive force, and due to attractive force, the positive charges are attracted towards the surface of the metal rod. In the third case, when we connect the metal sphere with the ground, the excess electrons in the metal spheres are flows to the ground. The process of removal of electron from the body to the ground, that is called earthing anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. That is called earthing. Now, the positive charges are held near the end of the negatively charged body. When you remove that negatively charged body, the positive charge inside the sphere is uniformly distributed throughout the sphere. This is called positively charged body. This process is called a uncharged metal sphere converted into positively charged body or positively charged sphere without touching it. This process is called charging by induction. Okay, thank you. In the next class, I will discuss the basic properties of charge.